Okay, guys. So I'm going to do a Sisterwives catch up and a little bit of recap because last night was the episode, and let me tell you guys, like, I am shooketh over this. I did not expect Christine and Cody to both be on. I can't see. Both be on that like confessional thing where they're like talking to us, and I am shooketh. Okay, but first, I just want to play this part right here. Right, this is when Christine is talking about the nanny and how the nanny exposed them all to COVID, right? Now, if you watch the show, you know the story with the nanny, right? So, Robin, wife number 5, who I believe, and most people believe, wants plural marriage, not polygamy. And Cody has been spending 90% of COVID at Robin's house saying that the rest of the wives have to follow a certain set of guidelines if they want him to come back to their house. Okay. So then Robin also has a nanny who comes and goes every day. And she's allowed over at the house, right? So Christine's like, what does the nanny do? Give me, for months, she's asking, what do we have to do? First of all, why does Robin have a nanny anyway? Okay? That's just one thing. Especially when Cody's now a full-time dad and lives with Robin the whole time. Why does she have a nanny? I don't know. But when Christine said, what does nanny do? That's what I thought she meant. All right, so I'm backtracking, but I just want to set this part up for you, right? So the nanny ends up giving them all COVID, right? After they go through this whole 9 months of getting, I mean, it basically ended their marriages, this whole thing, because Cody showed his true colors. Well, actually, they must have already known. Like, they all knew that Cody was, like, bad, and I guess we just didn't see it because he didn't show us that part. But, all right, so Christine has now left Cody, right? So this happens at the end of the episode. But now we're like a year later, but she has left him. Mary had left him a long time ago, or he left Mary. But let me just play this. Now he's in his car with Robin. They're going to get tested. Now Robin is wife number 5 that we believe he just wants to be with her. I got to get to the gym. I mean, Christina and Janelle are funny. Like, I was like, wow. I'm glad she's finally speaking up. But
doing the test.
I'm gonna find Christine. Hold
We're
on.
gonna go get.
So yeah, they do their confessionals now here.
The family has COVID, not just us, but
The whole family, she says. That's Robin,
the
but
family has COVID, not just us, but
okay.
the whole family.
The whole
Because of you.
passed the test.
Because
After
of you.
Ariana's birthday was over, Cody
Christine.
actually called us and told us that Robin's nanny got COVID. I'm just going to be honest with you. I know it's partially evil, but I just chuckle a little bit at the irony of it. I feel
Right.
mostly bad for the nanny. She's got to just feel devastated.
All right, so that's Janelle. I mean, that was Christine. So then,
There's some irony here. I'm sorry.
This
have
is the other
to
wife,
say
Janelle.
there's irony.
saying the same thing,
I'm safe and I don't keep all of Cody's rules.
right? So they've been mad at him because he's been spending all his time at Robin and not giving them fair.
We've all been exposed to COVID now. So I find it just absolutely ironic that it's
Christine
come
again.
to the nanny. And nothing wrong with what she's done. I feel so bad for her. That's just got to be tough. But yeah, we're all now exposed.
Yep, but she's like shaking her head. She's like, yeah. All right, so let me shut this off and get my tea. Because I'm going to go in on Cody now. Now, Sisterwives. Now, we had last week where he was having a conversation with his one son, Hunter and Gabe. Now, they are Janelle's kids. This Janelle's wife number 3. He's got 5. And he's got mostly older kids, except for at Robin's house. Now, that does make sense that he would spend most of his time there. But his older kids have not seen him, and they're trying to have a conversation with him, and it is cold. It is sad. Like, Gabe is crying to his dad, like, what do I have to do to, like, he's trying to make Gabe choose between him and, like, Gabe's girlfriend. Like, they're older kids. Like, they're older. They're, like, in their 20s. Like, they have lives and girlfriends, and, like, during quarantine, it was hard. They didn't want to, like, the girlfriend ends up staying with them. But, like, Cody, the bottom line is he had excuses the entire time to just stay at Robin's. Now, it's been 25 years of polygamy, where it's been 5 wives, right? They have shared the entire time. Now, I started watching it day 1. Now, we're going back like 18 years. And so when it first started, it was just Mary, Janelle, and Christine. And I think there's like 17 kids. They were all younger, and they were married to Cody. They lived in one house. Come fast forward like maybe 5 years into the marriages, they meet Robin, wife number 5. she comes along. She's never been a polygamist. She's always been plural, right? She gets into the family. She has 2 kids with Cody. She already has 2 grown kids. He adopts them. He ends up divorcing wife number 1, all still married to, but like legally divorced, marry wife number 1, to legally then marry Robin, wife number 5, the one we believe that he wants to be with now full time. I think he's done with polygamy. So, look, basically at the end of this, I'm going to tell you what he says. So this entire time I'm watching the show, they're living like this, and these wives are telling us how happy they are, and I literally didn't believe that shit I did not believe it. I'm like, that was the one thing in life that I couldn't understand, polygamy, and I didn't believe that they were secure in their like, I just believe these women were insecure. He was controlling, and I just couldn't get it. I did not get it. I'm like, I don't understand this, but I kept watching, right? Eventually, they move out of one house, right? So the kids are growing up, and we're watching this year after year, and everything seems fine. There's no argument. Like, all the wives are swearing, they're getting along, they're hanging out, like, they're having all these, like, family events, and nobody seems jealous. Nobody talks about anybody else, and they seem like they're running Cody this whole time. And he's even acting like that. So we think he's like, I don't have control of my... This whole time, he has control over his wives. They control him. They end up moving to Vegas, and when we say Vegas, it's like they moved into this cul-de-sac, which I thought was the best thing that ever happened to this family, because he's got 5 wives, all of them have kids, so they get this cul-de-sac where all 5 houses in the cul-de-sac were theirs. So they were all like in this one like beautiful cul-de-sac together but separate, which is perfect for a polygamist, because like you have your wives in separate houses, but you're right next door, so there's no travel time for him. You know, he's got to be at 5 different houses, so to walk back and forth and have all your kids in one thing. So what happens is, like, 5 years later, they end up wanting to sell it and move to Flagstaff, Arizona. Why? They said that Utah was getting dangerous, and they didn't want their kids to grow up in school there. Well, the thing is, they didn't have that many young kids left. But anyway, long story short, they end up selling all the homes. Well, they bought a piece of property called Coyote Pass. They moved to Flagstaff, Arizona. This property is supposed to build all these houses again. Well, they move on to the property, and COVID hits. Well, first they needed to find rentals for all 5 families and be able to have the money or sell their houses in Vegas to have the money to build on the property. Thank God those houses didn't sell quick, because that was a sign because of things to come. Because if those houses would have sold quick enough, they would have built on Coyote Pass, and Christine was not happy. Now, Christine is wife number 2 or 3, I forget, but she's been there for the whole time. I thought Christine was the most stable one, the most confident one out of all the wives, right? This is the first season, the first year in 18 seasons that they're being honest. Like, because everything's falling apart. So, Mary ends up having, like, an affair. Like, she's wife number 1. He ends up leaving her. Like, she's still part of the family, but they have no intimacy. So, you just take her out of the mix, right? So, he's got, like, 4 wives, right? Mary's not married to him anymore. They have no sexual relationship. So now we got Janelle, Christine, and Robin. Separate houses, Cody's traveling. We never picked up on Christine. I never picked up on her being unhappy. I, for one, was looking for signs, and all these women, like, what's wrong with them? Like, I could never share my husband. No fucking way, no. Like, no, I'm like, okay, like, there's gotta be, like, okay, well, maybe they're just really secure. Alright, so just last season is when I started to accept them. I was like, oh, you know, I gotta get over it. It's been 20 years. Like, obviously it works. Their kids are happy. Like, they have grown kids. Their grown kids have kids. Like, they're well-rounded kids. Everything. I'm like, all right, it works. I accept it. I love them. It's great. Huh. Well, fast forward to COVID, and all hell breaks loose. He's now down 2 wives. Like, so Christine and Robin, apparently, like, I guess Christine this whole time has been jealous of Robin. Now, I understand why. Like, I don't think... If Robin ever came into the picture, Christine and him probably would have never got divorced. As of yesterday, or last episode, she's done with him. But I think if Robin ever came along, he would end up with Christine, stay with Christine. And I think Christine realized that. She says now she's been unhappy for 12 years. And that Cody's been controlling her this entire time, and she had no voice. I did not think that. I did not pick up on that. I thought Christine for sure ran that relationship, and I thought she was fine having a part-time husband. This has been killing her. I mean, we see it now. We didn't know that. I didn't know that. And You still have Janelle, but Janelle, she's pissed. Like, she's pissed at Cody, but I think she's fine with a not sexual really. I don't know what goes on with them. People say that they don't have sex, but I don't know. I mean, why would she be happy with that? I mean, they are in the mindset that, like, once you're married, you stay married forever. Cody, now, I'm thinking, I'm thinking that when Christine's telling him that she's not happy, I thought that Christine dumped Cody. Allegedly now, what they're saying is Cody stopped sleeping with her like a year ago, and he hasn't. And she's like, you know, I'm unhappy, and apparently they haven't had a sexual relationship. And he said, I no longer want to be in a sexual relationship with you, a sexual marriage, but I still want to be married to you. And then she's like, what? No. What kind of, why? So you can have sexual relationships in other marriages, but not me? No. She's like, and I can be alone for the rest of my life? I don't think so. He's like, well, it's a covenant of marriage, and we're married forever. And a lot of couples work. And she's like, wait a minute. So you're going to be with the other wife, and I'm married to you, and I can't do anything, but I'm not going to have you either. And she's like, out. But she's devastated, and she's crying, and she's heartbroken. And it's like, I cried. I was like, Christine, like, I mean, so now they're doing, like, her and Cody both have a phone, and they're doing, like, confessionals, talking to us, and she's being the most open and honest she's ever been. She's saying how she's been unhappy. He told her he wasn't attracted to her a couple years ago, that he's no longer attracted to her. This motherfucker, Cody, how dare you, dude? Really? Christine's beautiful, first of all, but that doesn't matter. Who fucking says that? Who the fuck says that? Cody. So, I mean, she's like, I feel bad that she went through this whole time, and, like, you know, and then you have Janelle, who her father ends up dying, right? So Janelle's the other wife, the one that's still kind of, she doesn't really say much. Like, she's just, like, okay with him coming over, hanging out with the kids, and, like, probably not doing nothing with her. And I think that's sad, because she's also a pretty good mom and a pretty good wife, and I think she gets the shitty end of all of it. But she hasn't spoken out. She's pissed, but, like, I guess, so her dad dies, right? Like, around right before Christmas. And I'm like, Cody better go to that funeral. He better be with her. Like, well, he was, but I found out that, like, her dad that died is also his stepdad or something. So, or something. So, like, he's related to him too. So I don't think he would have went with Janelle. And I think Robin, like, wanted him to stay home. I don't think now Robin acts as if she wants Robin's the wife that we think he just wants to be with her, and she just wants him. She acts like she's always trying to get the family together. She's always telling Cody to go be with his other wives. She's all for the family being together. Bullshit. Because the second he came home from Janelle's, she, like, grabbed onto him, and they kissed, and they're like, it's like they've been going, and it's like, oh my god, like, you were going for so long, like, weird. Not a polygamy marriage, and it does not seem like polygamy to me at all anymore. And the digs that he makes at his wives and his other kids, I am so disgusted. Cody Brown, dude, you literally, you made me like you. You made me, forced my hand in accepting your shit, Cody. And I really believed that you were, like, a stand-up dude that, like, I don't know where you get all the energy to have 5 wives. What? Like, doesn't that blow your mind? Could you imagine 5 of me? Could you imagine George having 5 of me? 5 of me. No. I couldn't have 5 of him. Like, no. Like, anyway, so, like, I don't know where he would get, like, where do you get all the energy? Like, I can barely manage 1 marriage. Like, can you imagine managing 5? Like, apparently he wasn't. Because even, like, Christine had said something a couple weeks ago that the 2 days he'd spent at her house, so he goes to work or something during the day. So he would get to her house till 5 in the afternoon. Half the day's gone. Sleep there. Wake up and go to work the next day. And stay. So, like, dude, what really, like, what kind of, you know what I mean? Like, and so they each only got 2 days a week. So, like, that always would leave, like, an extra day, like, randomly hanging. Or something. I don't know. Like, a random day somewhere. I don't know. But, like, how do you split the weekends up? Like, it was just weird. Like, but anyway, they were making it work. Like, Vegas, the cul-de-sac was, like, the best thing that ever happened to these people. They should have just stayed there. And, I mean, Christine said she wasn't happy there either. So, I mean, obviously it was when 12 years ago is kind of when Robin came in the picture, kind of. She was there longer, but, like, I think that's when she started realizing that Cody just wanted to be with Robin. So, did I miss anything? I mean, like, I'm skipping over, like, 18 years of stuff. But, like, the episode last night was so sad. Oh, so, all right. So she has the conversation with Cody, Christine, and it's sad. She's crying, and he's acting as if she's going through something. He's acting like this is something she goes through all the time, and he's just going to walk away, and she'll be okay, and he's just going to come back, and everything will be okay, and she's just going through something. No, motherfucker. Like, she's hurt. Like, she's lost her husband. She's realizing now, since COVID, that her husband really doesn't love her, and he really doesn't want to be married to her, and all he wants is his other wife. So cut her some break, dude. Like, so anyway, so you find out that, like, he comes back the next day. Now Christine tells us that I gotta put this binder down. It's too hard to see all his stuff in the house, and it's like it's killing me. It's too hard. It's heartbreaking. I mean, she is like devastated, and I'm like, holy crap, this is happening. Like, so she ends up packing all his stuff and putting it in the garage. He comes home there and he ends up seeing it. So you see him with his little confessional, and he's showing us all the boxes: Cody's books, Cody's shoes, Cody's vanity, Cody's this, Cody, and he's like, I don't know what to do. And you're like, oh my God, okay, he has feelings. Okay, he's going to say that he's upset. He's going to act like he cares. He's going to tell us that he cares about her, and he doesn't want a divorce. All of a sudden he goes, you know what? There's a reason I feel this way. Maybe I don't want to be in polygamy anymore. He's like, you know? He's like, maybe I'm relieved. Yeah, I'm relieved. He's like, I just don't want the karma of a divorce. But other than that, I'm relieved. I was like, oh, what? Dude, you mother effer. Like when Christine saw that, I am sure that episode devastated her. First of all, I don't think she watched it back. But Christine Brown, if you are hearing me, if you ever see this video, just know I cried with you, and I tried to accept your marriage too for like 25 years. Janelle, I don't really, like, I know you seem fine, so I'm not going to talk to you. Robin, it's obvious you want the dude. Like, just say it. Just be, like, honest with yourself. Be honest with the rest of them. You even said your kids are devastated when he leaves for 2 days and they don't understand it. What? What do you mean? You didn't explain polygamy to them? They don't understand it? Well, that's on them. That's on you. So, your kids have anxiety when he leaves to go see his other wives. That is on you, Robin. Like, you went into this with polygamy. Like, you're a liar. Like, stop saying that you think or you want the family back together. No, you don't. Like, it's obvious. Like, even when you were sitting there talking about the nanny, because it is your fault. I mean, come on now. You were the one that made up the rules. Let's not lie. All right, I said it. Robin, you made the rules up. Okay, and then your nanny got COVID and gave you shit. And I ended up giving her kids COVID too. So, whatever. Mary, whatever her name is, wife number 1, what are you doing, Mary? Why are you not with anybody else? You don't have to leave the family. That is still your family. They are your sister wives, but they're your sisters, basically. They're your kids too, or whatever. There's no reason that you can't be with somebody else. Please, go meet somebody. Do not wait for him. He's not ever going to be with you. He told you that. You're married, but you're not. You're married in a covenant, whatever. Screw that shit, Mary. Go find somebody else, please. That whole catfish thing, like, he needs to get over it. That was years ago. He told you he was done. Because apparently when you cross Cody, that is it. He punishes you for life. Mary got that. Janelle, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, I know you want to do it like a garden and you want to be like this hippie on the property, but you need to find somebody too. Let this dude, I mean, not let him go, but like, I mean, I guess you're fine. Like, you don't complain about him. I mean, you're next, I'm sure. You're going to be the next one leaving, and I hope to God that you do. Because Christine, you're awesome. Like, I know this is killing you, but, like, I just hate the fact for you that you, this entire time, were feeling what I thought you were feeling, and then, or what I suspected you were feeling in the beginning, and then, you know, you talked me into thinking you were, like, confident and stuff, which I wish you were, but I understand how, like, I understand, I wouldn't be either, but I believed it, and then, now, like, we see the realness. This is the most honest and real you guys have ever been. So, guys, I'm talking about Sisterwives, though, by the way. Yeah, so, it's like, now, I mean, we know it's a year later, and Christine is in, I think, North or South Carolina with her other daughter, and she looks happy, and I'm assuming they're getting divorced because she's done with him, and he's been with Robin, and Janelle, I think, and Mary, well, not with Mary, he doesn't visit her. So, like, Mary, like, wife number 1, so she's been married to him the longest since they were in high school. It's been, like, 30 years. But they're not married any longer, but they're, in the eyes of God, married, but he never goes over her house. She's on that property by herself, and it's huge. She's got the biggest house out of all of them, and she's the one with no kids at home. And it's like a mansion. He doesn't ever go there. And they're not like married. Like he maybe sees her once a month. So yeah, he's like down 3 wives and he only has 2 left. Janelle and Robin. And I believe that him and Janelle don't have a sexual marriage, which is so sad to me. So, yeah, that was Sisterwives. It's only been 20 minutes. So I guess instead of doing another recording, I'm just going to do Darcy and Stacy real quick because I don't have much to say about that, except that, again, what did Georgie do? We found out that he called Jesse. Who cares? So Darcy and Stacy go to Turkey to get plastic surgery. Now, she breaks up with Georgie in the very beginning. She accepts a ring from him, right? Accepts a ring from him. Then she starts digging dirt up on him. Then he goes and sees his wife. Tasha K. guilty on all charges. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Yeah, we're going to touch that a little bit. Tasha K. guilty. Oh. All right. So, Darcy and Stacy, she meets this guy, Georgie, begs for a ring, gets the ring, and all of a sudden he's a piece of crap, and she's looking for all this, like, dirt on him. She ends up seeing his ex-wife. I mean, complete devastation. She completely creates this narrative that he's this bad guy, has all these drunken friends, like Raina, the drunken friend, believes it. Stacy doesn't. I don't know what Stacy, the sister's problem is. All I know is that her and Florian need to mind their fucking business. Because Georgie did nothing wrong, okay? Georgie did nothing wrong. Georgie is Darcy's... I don't know what she's trying to say. Anyway, she gets plastic surgery. Her and Stacy go to Turkey for a month, and they literally come back 2 different people. Completely different people. They look like Barbie dolls, and they look horrible. I mean, it is the most botched shit I've ever seen in my life. It is horrible. They don't even look normal. And she starts like, so she's only in Turkey to get the surgery, so she's only gone a month. She's telling everybody she broke up with Georgie, acting like she went to Turkey, she worked on herself, and she's healed, and all these issues she's always had, they're all going out of her new body. Like, all the issues she had, all the bad juju went out with her old body and her old face. So she comes back from Turkey. The second she lands, where'd she go? Where'd she go, guys? To meet up with Georgie to give him the ring back. You've only separated with him for a month by an ocean, because you wouldn't have never left him if you didn't go to Turkey, Darce. So you never broke up with him, you fucking liar. You told your family you did, you told your sister you did, you told everybody you broke up, and then you made up this crap that he did something wrong to you. He hid money in a drawer. The dude does not need a green card. He already has one, so he's not using her. She begged him to move up here from Florida. That's why he didn't have a job. That's why he didn't work, Darcy, because you told him to come here and you would pay for everything, you bitch. And then you go and you tell your fucking dad, yeah, I'm going to curse. You tell your dad that he doesn't want to work, and you found money and he's hiding something. You found money in a drawer when he told you that money was for a credit card because COVID, he wasn't going to the bank, and you don't put a lot of money in the bank, Darcy. So you gaslit the dude with your family. You got your drunken friend, the token 90-day single drunken jealous friend, Raina and the other drunk. They're like, he called us white trash. Yeah, bitch, you are white trash. You are white trash. Like, he didn't call you white trash, but you are. So just shut the fuck up. Okay? Stay out of Darcy's business. It's ridiculous. Like, you guys are the token 90-day jealous single friend. Okay. Anyway, so she goes to give him the ring back. Chill. Give him the ring back, and she ends up sleeping with him. So, mind you, only separated for the surgeries. Comes back, right back in bed with him. Comes and then still tries to act like he's done something to her, and they're not getting back together. Really? Okay. Fast forward next scene. What do we have? Bye, Georgie. I think maybe we should work on it. I'm gonna tell him. I don't have to tell my family. But Georgie, move back home. Come back to my house with me. You don't have to work again. Just so we can work on a relationship. Please come live with me again. Bitch, what? So, you're giving him the ring back. He did something to you, Ro. He did something wrong, though, right? Okay. Invite him back. We still don't know what he did wrong, but whatever. Invites him back to the apartment they had just moved him out of or whatever, right? So, she goes and she tells her dad, her daughters, and her sister, and her drunken friends that her and George are working things out. And they're like, what? No, no, da, 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 da. Acting like this man has done something to her. Like, they don't know that she's, like, the victim. She's the victim. Are you kidding me? She's not the victim. Listen, Darcy, nobody did shit to you. You're a psycho. You're crazy. You're the same bitch you were when you were with Jesse. The same one. You have not changed. Poor Tom. Thank God he got away from you. And then you drag this dude into your life. You need therapy. The next one better be Darcy and Stacy get therapy. Not actually, Stacy, you do need therapy because you bring Florian over here who's like, this is Florian. Yeah, baby. Yeah, boo boo. Yeah, boo boo. My sister boo boo. And he's like mad at Georgie, but he doesn't even know what he's mad at. Georgie's like the other one of him. He's like the other him, basically. And poor Georgie's like, I don't know what I've done. And poor Georgie, you've done nothing wrong. She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Run, my friend. Run from Darcy Silva. Run, Georgie. Dude, I feel so bad for him. I think he feels stuck. Because, like, he thinks that, like, she's hot or something. I don't know. I don't know what poor Georgie thinks. I don't know why he wants to be with her. She went and found his ex-wife. And all the ex-wife tells her is she found him on, like, a sugar mama website once. He probably wasn't looking at it. It was probably porn, and it was one of those pop-ups, right? She probably looked in the history and saw that. That's all she said about him. And, I mean, Darcy acted like she told him that, like, he was sleeping with the ex-wife. Darce, you're fucking nuts. I call her Darth and Garth because the way they talk like this because they're smokers. Yeah, I quit smoking so I can say that. Yeah, so she talks like this. Yeah, and like, dude, go check her Insta out. But anyway, so poor Georgie, right? So then, Darcy sends Stacy and Florian to go to Georgie's apartment where she had just begged him to move back into. To get some of her things. Why are you getting some of your things, Darcy? You're working things out, right? So you have Stacy acting like she's going to be a bitch to Georgie, and I'm not going to stand for nothing, and I'm not going to even talk to him, and I'm not going to forgive, like, whatever, bitch. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares, Stacy, what you think. So poor fucking Georgie. Like, I feel so bad. He's, like, standing there, and he's trying to be nice to them. And she's like, well, since you've asked. So, Georgie, what are your intentions with my sister? What? Your sister begged him to come back. What are you talking about? What are his intentions? His intentions were to marry her until she gaslit the shit out of him. He doesn't need to tell you what his intentions are. She begged him to come back. And then she's like, did you work while we were in Turkey? Was he supposed to work while you were in Turkey? What the fuck? He's like, yeah, I did massages. She's like, you did? My sister didn't tell me that. Stacy, he doesn't need to fucking tell you anything, and he doesn't need to work either. Your sister told him not to, begged him not to. She said, I'll pay for everything. So then when she does, she's telling all of us how she doesn't want to pay for everything. And she doesn't want to be a sugar mama. Then why are you buying the man shit? Why are you telling him to quit his job and move in with you, psycho? Like, Georgie, run, please. Georgie, run. Run. Please run. I know they're not married yet. Right? So they decide to go to therapy. This is the best part, right? So this is, oh God, I wish I was that therapist. Oh, I would love to be that therapist. So they go into therapy, and I'm like, this is going to be good. Because what do you want to tell this therapist? And what is she going to think when you try to tell him what he did wrong? Well, that happened. So they're in a therapist session, and Georgie's like, I think I don't know how to communicate because I think that she's damaged from her past because she was cheated on, and that is the truth. She was treated like shit because she's a psycho, and she's projected onto him. He's done nothing wrong. He can't even figure out what he's done wrong. He's like trying to explain it, and he's like, maybe because I'm different culture, she doesn't understand. I'm like, no, Georgie, you didn't do anything wrong. She's crazy. Therapist, like, give the therapist. I'm looking at the therapist, like, tell him she's crazy. So then the therapist asks her, so what do you think about this? And she's like, well, I don't know what it is, and I don't know what makes me blow up on him. Maybe I just don't listen to him. So the therapist goes, so what do you mean? Is he's really not doing anything wrong? That you're projecting your past onto him? And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what she's doing. Yes. But, like, for some reason, like, Georgie's like, no, it's not her fault. I was like, oh, all right, it's not her fault. Like, Georgie, maybe you, like, literally deserve to get your heart broken because it is her fucking fault. Darcy, it is your fault. Like, what are you dragging this man to therapy for? We don't need therapy. You need therapy. We're going to get a therapy. We're going to work on things. We're going to see if we should be together. We? What's this we, bitch? You need therapy. It's, whatever. I keep torturing myself by watching this bitch year after year. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Like, I think I was bored last night, and I'm like, maybe I'll just do one last one. Like, maybe I'll figure out what Georgie did, Look at my hair. I'm a mess. Anyway, my hair is purple, guys. I told you why earlier, but for Adam, up in Adam, he hit 100K subscribers. So, the purple is for the silver play button and the purple lights, whatever. I don't know what the thing is with purple, but that's the 100K color, and so I dyed my hair purple for Adam. So go to his channel, guys, Up and Adam Live. Subscribe. And me, Kristen Ray Miller, the unpopular opinion. Like, subscribe, comment. I was going to do a couple recaps tonight leading up to a Who's. I can't think. I keep seeing Tasha K found guilty, so I'm like sidetracked. But I'm going to do a couple more pre-records, and it's going to be a Who's Side Are You On leading up to a Thursday Night Live. But guys, this was Sisterwives. I talked about it. I really, I'm shooketh a little bit because I was shocked that it was actually Cody that broke up with Christine. And Christine just being done and tired of being, in a loveless marriage. And that's what he said, they're in a loveless marriage. I was like, oh. Anyway, don't watch Darcy and Stacey. They're a joke. Might do a 90-day recap, I'm not sure. But anyway, like, subscribe, comment. This was Sisterwives and Darcy. Probably won't be talking about her too much more. Yeah, if you guys can figure out what Georgie did, can you let me know in the comments section? That's right, guys. Comment, please, too. All right, guys. I can't even get this off because the Tasha K stuff is all over my screen. Oh, no, Tasha K. Okay.